तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So welcome all of you all for our Bhagavad Gita overview class. So last week we had an quiz. How many of you all were there last week? All of you all were there. Sincere students. I will not ask how many marks you all got. But you all also don't know. Good. Krishna knows. But all of you all had you all could open the book and answer the questions. Was it a good experience for all of you all? Good. Very nice. So now we are beginning the second section almost of the Bhagavad Gita. So the first 6 chapters, Gita has 18 chapters in total. The first 6 chapters form one section which we have completed. Now from today we are going to begin the second section from chapter number 7. So quick recap of the first 6 chapters. Chapter 1, what is the acronym for chapter 1? Doubt. Very good. What is the acronym for chapter 2? Gita. Very good. What is the acronym for chapter 3? 3. TREE. Correct. What is the acronym for chapter 4? Years. Because it's transcendental knowledge. Acronym for chapter 5? Step. And for 6? Easy. Good. So now we are coming to chapter 7, which is entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. Very beautiful chapter and a very important chapter. So this chapter, the acronym for this chapter is HEAD. HEAD. Because knowledge of the absolute you gain through your head. So this is the right use of head. So here also you can see one head. Everyone has head and people have intelligence. But they use intelligence for research for different things, right? They do so many different things, research, but people don't have that head. They don't have the intelligence to understand about God. I've given this example a couple of times. Srila Prabhupada goes to MIT and Prabhupada is asking them that you all have so many departments here, but where is the department about God? So Prabhupada, in a joking way, but also in a very serious way, Prabhupada said, this is MIT college, but there is no Almighty here. There's department for everything, but there's no department for teaching about Almighty. So it's very important that we actually use our head to understand about God. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. God has given us this head to ask questions and to do research about the Supreme Lord, to understand the Supreme Lord. So this chapter is a very important chapter, knowledge of the absolute. So the acronym for chapter 7 is HEAD, HEAD. So the first 3 verses of this chapter speak of the concept of hearing. The first verse of this chapter, Lord Krishna speaks, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Maya Sakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjam Madashraya Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yata Gyasyasi Tachruno. Generally, every chapter begins with Arjuna asking a question. But this seventh chapter, Krishna is not even waiting for Arjuna to ask a question. Krishna is so excited that he is speaking on his own. And he's telling Arjuna, Tachruno, hear from me. Till now, Arjuna has been hearing, but now Krishna says, I'm going to explain to you something more deeper. Please hear very, very attentively. So the first three verses speak on the concept of hearing. And Srila Prabhupada in this particular purport, Prabhupada stresses on this point of hearing. There are 9 forms of bhakti, but the most important is the ears, Shravanam. So we can actually see God only when we hear. And we'll find this in the scriptures every now and then. Narad Muni could see Krishna, but the only way he could see Krishna is because he heard about Krishna. Vyasadeva, the first canto of Bhagavatam, he could see the Lord face to face because he heard about Krishna from Vyasadeva. So any great personality who has seen Krishna face to face, it has also always began with the process of hearing. So hearing is something that is very important. So there are 2 ways of gaining knowledge. One is called Avaroha Pantha. Avaroha Pantha means descending path. Like if you want to understand God, how can you understand God? One way is you try to understand with your own head. And the other way is when God reveals himself. Which is more easier and which is more correct? When God reveals himself. It is called a descending path. So here Krishna is speaking about himself. We cannot understand Krishna just by our own imagination. Right? We cannot understand Krishna from our level. Only when this knowledge descends in a proper parampara, then only we can understand. So this is called Shabda Praman ya Avaroha Pantha. So the ascending path is called Aroha Pantha. Aroha Pantha means someone who is speculating, especially the Jnanis, they try to speculate and try to understand Krishna. Neti, neti, this is not God, this is not God. They're trying to come closer. But that's a very faulty way of understanding. The best way of understanding is when it comes from God through parampara. Like now mango season is coming. Mango season is already started almost. So if you want to actually experience ripe mango, if it is there on a tree, what is the best way? One way is you take a stone, throw it. Generally that's what people do. But the problem is by the time it falls, it bursts. A ripe mango will just burst. You will not be able to experience it. But if someone climbs it and he picks it up, passes it to the next person, then you can experience the mango as it is. Actual flavor of the mango. Similarly, taking a stone and throwing it, right? In Hindi, this is called tukka, laga to laga. So most people's understanding of God is this. They will speculate. If they come to a conclusion, they will come. But the best way of understanding is through parampara. When the knowledge is passed from one guru to another. That's called the Avaroha Pantha. So there are 4 classes of people in this world. The most intelligent person is one who understands by hearing. I'll give you an example. Someone is told, a child is told, don't steal. If you steal, police will catch you, beat you. What is the best way of understanding? The first class person, there are 4 levels of people. The first class person is one who learns by hearing. It is told to me by my seniors, by my parents, don't steal, I will not steal. Simple. Second class person is one who doesn't understand by hearing, he understands by seeing. We have always believed in seeing is believing. This is observing. So you tell a child, don't steal, the child doesn't get it. But he sees someone stealing. And then he sees that the police takes him to the police station. And this guy goes behind the police. And he sees that this fellow is beaten left, right, center by the police. So when he sees that, he learns, I will never steal. He has heard, he has observed. But there's a third class of person who doesn't even understand by hearing, not even by seeing. This guy has to experience it. He has to experience it. उसको अनुभव करना ही पड़ेगा. उसको समझ में नहीं आता. उसको लगता है, he feels that अरे this fellow has stolen, he got caught. I will not get caught. So he goes and steals. 1-2 times he may escape. Finally, the police catches him and beats him so much. He decides, I will never steal. This is a third class guy. And there's a fourth class guy who never learns. He will hear, he will see, he will experience. Still, he will not learn. He will not learn. He'll keep doing that again and again. Puna puna charvita charvananam. He'll keep getting beaten royally again and again. He will never learn his lesson. So out of these four, whom we should try to be? First. Actually, life is basically a combination of all the four. Sometimes, we are so dull-headed, we don't understand by hearing. Sometimes we have to experience it also. But very gradually we have to come to a platform where we develop faith in scriptures. You hear once from sadhus and then you follow. So in the first 3 verses, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, I'm going to tell you something that is very, very important. In the second verse of this chapter, Lord Krishna says, Jnanam te sem teham sa vijnanam idam vakshami ashesatah yagyatva neha bhuyonyaj jatavyam avashishyate. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, what I'm going to tell you has everything in it. There is nothing beyond this. So till now we discussed there are 2 ways of gaining knowledge. One is called Aroha Pantha, ascending path, where you use your senses, mind and intelligence. The better way is called Avaroha Pantha, which is a descending path. And this descending path works by the process of hearing. And then we also discussed that there are 4 classes of people who learn. The best is one who learns by hearing, right? So now from these next set of verses here, Lord Krishna, especially from text 2, what we read now, Lord Krishna explains 4 levels of knowledge. Prabhupada in the translation and the purport, right? So because this chapter is called Knowledge of the Absolute, so here Lord Krishna is explaining 4 kinds of knowledge. The first knowledge that Prabhupada mentions on the purport also, this is called MSC. Prabhupada explains here what Lord Krishna is saying in verse 2. Lord Krishna is telling, my dear Arjuna, what I'm going to tell you now is the complete understanding of knowledge. And Prabhupada explains what is complete knowledge. Prabhupada writes here, complete knowledge, first sentence. Complete knowledge includes knowledge of the phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, and the source of both of them. Phenomenal world means what we can see. So complete knowledge is knowledge of material world, knowledge of matter, knowledge of spirit, and knowledge of the controller of both. M refers to MSc. People get MSc degrees now. MSc means, ideal MSc is to understand what is matter, what is material, to understand what is spirit, and to understand who is the controller of both. This is the first level of knowledge that Lord Krishna explains here. Second, that Lord Krishna explains here, and what Prabhupada explains in the purport, 3 features of understanding God. What are the 3 features of understanding God? Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. These are the 3 features. Just like someone who has never seen a train. Imagine, someone has never seen a train. So, he is standing in a station and the train comes. What does he hear first? The sound of the train. So, his initial understanding will be train means something that makes a big sound. And what he will see next, he will see a huge light, floodlight, the front light of the train. So he will feel the train means light. Slowly, when the train comes closer to him, what he will see? He will see that the train has lot of bogies also, different boxes. So he may have an understanding train means boxes only. But when he actually waits a little longer, he will see so many people coming out of the train. This is probably Pakistan scene. You can't see the train only. People are everywhere. So you'll see people coming out of the train. So now, if someone defines the train as train means sound and light, huge sound and light, that is also an understanding, but that is not a complete understanding. Perfect understanding means train means it has sound, light, it has bogies, and it has people also in it. That's the complete understanding. Similarly, God has three features: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. The topmost is Bhagavan feature. Brahman means only light, the energy feature. Paramatma is little more intimate, but Bhagavan is the most intimate understanding. So these are the four kinds of knowledge. Then Prabhupada explains here, there are two levels, there are two understandings of God. One is the greatness of God and other is the sweetness of God. So the Lord Krishna, he is great also. Just like in the Bible, na, everyone is taught God is the supreme person, he is supremely great. So God has this greatness feature that Krishna explains in the Gita also. But along with that, he has a sweetness also in him. Madhurta and Mahanta, both is combined in that Supreme Lord. So therefore, the Supreme Lord, even though he is great, he can come to the level of devotees and have lot of loving relationship with devotees. Principally 5 different kinds of rasas: Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras. So in this way, Krishna, who is that Supreme God, who has created everything, he can have a personal relationship with each and every devotee. This is the next understanding of God that Prabhupada mentions in the purports. Yeah. And then in this verse, text 2, Lord Krishna explains, Jnanam te se teham sa vijnanam. Jnana vijnana, in one sense it means knowledge, theoretical knowledge and realized knowledge. So knowledge also means to understand the theory and then to realize it also. We say self-realization. What does self-realization mean? To realize who we are. Theoretically, we all know now, after attending so many ISKCON classes, that we are not the body, we are spirit soul. The question is, have we realized it? One thing is to know, and the other thing is to realize it. So these are 4 things that Prabhupada mentions in this purport here. 4 levels of knowledge. What are the 4 levels? First, if you understand these 4 things, you can say, I am in one sense knowledgeable. I have some knowledge about God. First is to understand what is matter, what is spirit, and how Krishna is the controller of both. First understanding. Second is to understand there are 3 features of God: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Third is to understand that God is great also. Simultaneously, God is sweet also. He has a sweetness associated with him. And the fourth is theory and realization. Spirituality, knowledge is only not meant for knowledge to be gained in the head. It is also meant to be realized. It's also meant to be realized. So these are 4 things that Prabhupada mentions in these purports. So in text 3, which is a very important verse, Lord Krishna says, you all can repeat this verse after me. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashchit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kashchit mam veti tattvata. Lord Krishna says, out of thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And out of thousands of people who have achieved such perfection, one may know Krishna in full. So these 4 things that we mentioned to you, we have mentioned it very simply, but it's not easy to understand these things. It's not easy. It's not easy. Lord Krishna is saying here, to understand him is not easy. It is a very, very rare phenomenon. How many people are there in Panjim? How many people are sitting here for the class? That itself shows that Krishna consciousness is very rare. One who is very fortunate only will come. Otherwise, it's not possible. It's not possible. There are so many millions of people around. Only why few are taking up to Krishna consciousness? Because this process is very, very rare. Only the most fortunate, The most intelligent people will come to realize something about God. So when we see that not too many people are taking up to the process of Krishna consciousness, we shouldn't get too discouraged also, because that's the way it is. The product is so precious, everyone can't appreciate it. Everyone can't appreciate it. Like down you have that Manek Gem, that shop. You'll not find the hundreds of people in that shop, because to enter the shop also you have to have some level. Without that level you can't even enter the shop. You can see the shop from outside, appreciate it, but you will not be able to enter it. Similarly, to enter into the process of bhakti, to understand about Krishna, only very, very special people are given this mercy. Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Mai Bhakti Lata Beej. Chaitanya Charitamrit Mahaprabhu is explaining to Sanatan Goswami that out of millions of people wandering in this universe through thousands and thousands of forms, one person can understand Krishna a bit. So this is how rare Krishna is. So this is the summary of the first 3 verses. So where Lord Krishna is speaking about the principle of hearing from the right source, hearing in the right mood, and trying to hear to understand Krishna. Right? When we are very focused in this process of hearing. So therefore these satsangs, we may not immediately understand what is the benefit of these satsangs, but these satsangs have a lot of benefit. Just by sitting and hearing these pravachans, reading, hearing Bhagavad Gita makes a lot of benefit, lot of changes in the heart. Shranvata swakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridayantastoi abhadrani vidunoti suritsatam. There are so many verses in the scriptures which explain just by sitting and hearing about Krishna, all the anarthas in the heart is removed. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, Prabhupada just carried Bhagavatam books with him. And just because Prabhupada gave these people, these American people, the process of hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, they all became purified. So let us not underestimate this process of hearing. Process of hearing and reading is something that is very, very powerful. The next section, verse number 4 to 12, Krishna speaks about envision. Yeah? How to see Krishna in this world. Krishna is in the spiritual world, but Krishna is also there in this material world. If we have the eyes, if we have the vision, we can see Krishna in this world also. How we can see him is what Lord Krishna explains in this set of verses from 4 to 12. The first is called effect. The first way we can understand God in this world is called effect. What does effect mean? Just like, a fan revolves. Why? Why is the fan revolving? Because of electricity. The fan is revolving, the effect is there, but what is the cause behind it? Electricity. So can we see electricity? We cannot see electricity. We can't see the cause, but we can see the effect. And by seeing the effect, we can understand that there is a cause. Or, just like someone has shot an arrow, or you see an arrow passing through you, you can clearly understand that someone has shot it. Without a cause, the arrow will not pass. So similarly, we may not be able to see the cause. The cause may be very far away, but there is a cause because of which the arrow is shot. Or Prabhupada, very often he would give this example. You have a puppet show. What you can see when you go to a puppet show, you can see only this part, the puppet's moving. You will not be able to see this part. This is covered. You will be able to see only this part. But an intelligent man knows that if the puppets are moving, there is someone who's making the puppets move. Otherwise, the puppets can't move on their own. Similarly, Lord Krishna explains in this section, this is verse number 7. Very important verse. You all can repeat this verse after me. Mata parataram nanyad kinchidasti dhananjaya Mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani ganaiva. So Lord Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, O conqueror of wealth. Krishna is speaking about a pearl necklace and he's calling Arjuna Dhananjaya. Kinchit asti Dhananjaya. One of the names of Arjuna is Dhananjaya. Why? Because when Yudhishthir Maharaj was doing this Rajasuya Yagya, he required a lot of wealth. Rajasuya Yagya means he required a lot of money. So Arjuna went and bought a lot of wealth. So therefore he is called Dhananjaya. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, O conqueror of wealth, O Arjuna, there is nothing superior to me. Mataha parataram nanyad. Mata means me. Paratara means beyond me, nothing. There is nothing superior to me. Mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani ganaiva. And Lord Krishna says, everything is resting on me. Just like pearls are strung on a pearl necklace. If you have seen a pearl necklace, if you can see this part, you'll never be able to see the rope, that thread beneath it. The pearl necklace will be so good, you'll not be able to see the thread. But it is logical that if the pearls are hanging together, they are sticking together, there is some unseen thread behind it, right? That's what Lord Krishna is referring to. That is me. So the effect we are seeing, what is the effect? All the pearls are together. That effect we are seeing. But we cannot see the thread, which is the cause that is making everything together. So Lord Krishna says, I am the unseen factor in this world. I am that unseen factor. We give credit to all the scientists and so many people. They discover this, they discover that. But who gives credit to Krishna, who's actually made everything? No one is able to even recognize him. No one is able to actually see him. So if we have this kind of vision, we will see Krishna everywhere. How can the sun rise on time, set on time, how the seasons move, how everything is happening so perfectly here? How can it happen just like that? All the effects are perfect. The water in the ocean is salty, the water is evaporated, clouds are formed, and they rain sweet water. So who is making all the systems in play? Who is making all the systems? A small insect is born. As soon as it is born, it learns to fly. Who teaches this insect to fly? It's learning it. So there is some system that we can see the effects of God everywhere. We may not be able to see God, but we can see the effect of God and we can infer that there is a cause. Sarva karana karanam. There is a cause. Without a cause, nothing can move in this world. You're understanding? So this is the first thing that Lord Krishna is explaining in this section 4 to 12. In order to envision God, we have to understand this principle of cause and effect. Right? This is the first thing. Second thing, how we can envision God in this world? By understanding his different energies. Right? In science, we learn energies. In this world, everything is a combination of energies. Energies can never be created nor destroyed. It is just transformed from one thing to another. So there are so many energies in this world. If there are so many energies, who is the energetic behind all these energies? These energies would have come from somewhere. There has to be a source for the energy. So who is that source? So Lord Krishna explains in this section, especially verse 4, Lord Krishna explains material energy. Material energy. What is material energy? Bhumir apo nalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara ityam me binna prakriti ashtada. So Bhagavad Gita not only teaches spiritual science, it teaches you material science also. Other than these 8 energies, there is nothing in this world. If you want to break everything in this world, it's broken into these 8 energies. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. All this together constitute Lord Krishna's separated material energy. So we are seeing Krishna's energy here. We are not seeing Krishna, but are we seeing Krishna's energy here? Do we see earth? Do we see water? Do we see fire? Do we see air? Do we see all this ether? Who has created all this? Scientists have made it. They are made they are creating water and they are pumping it in the ocean. Have you ever seen that happening? The river is getting dry. Scientists are putting water into the river. Can it happen? Who is creating earth, water, fire, air, ether? Think about it. So definitely someone it has come from somewhere. So that is Krishna. So anytime you go and see an ocean, you can just appreciate Krishna. Krishna, you're such a genius. You have created so much water. Unlimited land, unlimited sky. Look at the vastness of everything. There is no shortage. Fire, all these elements. I mean, we can do a 1 hour lecture on these 5 elements only, right? But I'll give you an understanding which comes in the Sankhya philosophy. See, these elements also are created in a very logical way. It's not haphazard, very logical. So the scriptures explain ether. Ether means vacuum. In vacuum, sound travels in vacuum. So in vacuum, only sound can travel. You cannot feel vacuum, you cannot touch vacuum, you cannot do any of these things. You can only hear. Okay? So one step ahead of vacuum, one level ahead of vacuum, ether is called air. In air, sound also can travel and you can feel air also. Space you can't feel, you can feel air. One step ahead of air is fire. Fire you can feel it, you can hear it, and you can see it also. Air you can't see, fire you can see, the next level. Next level of fire is water. Water you can hear it when water flows, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can see it, and you can taste it. Krishna will come to that here. You can taste water. And then you have earth. Earth, you can hear it, feel it, see it, taste it, and smell it. The water has no smell. Earth has smell. So just you study these 5 ingredients, you will completely fall in love with Krishna just by studying the material elements. Scientists also study these elements, but they don't become Krishna conscious. They become more and more atheistic because that's how the science has been taught. But actually, if you study science in a proper way, you can actually become very Krishna conscious, even seeing the material world around. So this is the first thing Lord Krishna explains, material energy. And then in text 5, Lord Krishna explains spiritual energy. Aparameyam itastva anyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Lord Krishna is saying, beyond these 8 material energies, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, is another superior energy. And who is the superior energy? All of us, Atma. Spirit is that superior energy. We spoke about MSC. M refers to matter, which is the 8 elements. S refers to spirit, the Atma. And who is the control? Hare Krishna. Yes, Krishna is the controller. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Yeah. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Can you all hear me? Okay, so we'll just continue. Krishna as the controller. In English, there's a saying, man proposes, God disposes. So Krishna is showing. We were discussing the same point, matter, spirit, and controller of both. So Krishna is a controller. Krishna has some plans. Okay, so this is the second aspect. What is the second aspect? First we saw was, First we saw how we can envision Krishna in this world. First is to understand the cause and effect. Effect. The effect is Krishna. We are seeing the cause, but what is there? We are seeing the effect. What is there behind the effect is the cause. So, how we can see Krishna in this world? By seeing the effects we can understand that Krishna is the cause. Understood? This is the first way. Second way is by seeing Krishna's energies in the world. We are seeing Krishna's energies constantly working here. We are seeing Krishna's material energy, earth, water, fire, air, ether. We have some understanding that we are spirit. When someone dies, we have the understanding that the Atma has gone away. So we are seeing some understanding of spirit also here. So by connecting to Krishna's energies, we can actually see Krishna by seeing the energies of Krishna. Got this point? The third aspect that Krishna covers in this section is the essence of everything in this world. Everything material in this world, the essence of all of it is Krishna. Krishna is that essence. So Krishna gives you here a list of examples, almost 15-16 ways in which we can experience Krishna here. So Lord Krishna says, Rasoham apshu kaunteya prabhasmi sasi shuryayo pranava sarva vedeshu shabda ke purusham rishu. So Lord Krishna says, the first way we can experience Krishna is the taste of water. We just explained that water has taste. Okay? Have you all experienced the taste of water anytime? If not, you all can drink and experience now. Every day we experience that. Okay, when you feel thirsty, what quenches your thirst? Coca-Cola or water? There is no replacement for water. There is no replacement for pure water. The way it can quench your thirst, nothing else can quench. That subtle taste, there is a taste in water, but there's a very subtle, satisfying taste. That taste is Krishna. So think about it. Think about this. Definitely we all chant Hare Krishna. How many times we drink water a day? How many times we drink? 5-6 times, that's all? I don't know. Probably I drink a little more. Whatever. How many times you drink, you sip water. While sipping water, you can actually be very, very Krishna conscious. Just by drinking water. Every time you drink water, you have to remember, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Krishna is that essence, that taste of water. So can't we appreciate Krishna in this world? So simple. Just by drinking water every day, we can actually be so very Krishna conscious. Then Lord Krishna explains here, Prabhasmi sasi shuryayo. Lord Krishna says, I am the light of the sun. Just like the essence of water is the taste, that satisfying feature of water. Similarly, the essence of the sun is the light. So Lord Krishna says, I am the light of the sun. Hare Krishna. Yes, Krishna's plans are Krishna is a light. The light has come. Exactly. When we said controller, like when Krishna showed is the controller. So when he said Krishna is light, the light has come. We didn't plan it that way, it just happened. Okay. So just press it once. Thank you. So Krishna is the just give me a minute. Yeah. Krishna is the light of the sun. How many times a day we see the sun? Probably we feel the sun, we criticize the sun, you're too hot, this, that. But we can actually see the sun, experience the light, and be so Krishna conscious. Countries where there is no sun, they are like in deep suffering, It's very, very difficult experience. So in India, we have a lot of sun, we may complain about it. But actually, just by experiencing the light of the sun, we can be so very Krishna conscious. Then Lord Krishna says, I'm the light of the moon. So the verse here is Prabhasmi Sashi Shuryayo. Shashi is the moon. So I am the light of the moon. Okay? So we see the moon also. The moonlight is sunlight, yeah, we may feel a little hot, but moonlight, though, we all appreciate it, so cooling. So Krishna is the light of the moon. Something very interesting where Prabhupada explains in the Bhagavatam. You all might have never thought about it this way. We all have learnt in science, the moon doesn't have light of its own. Whose light the moon reflects? Sun. So this we have an understanding that the moon reflects the light of the sun. Sun, whose light the sun reflects? So Bhagavatam Prabhupada explains, the sun reflects the light of Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is that energy, that effulgence coming from Krishna, the sun reflects. And what is Brahma Jyoti? Brahma Jyoti is the glow from Krishna's body. So that means you see the moon is dependent on the sun is dependent on Brahma Jyoti is dependent on Krishna. So that's the whole understanding of how the material world works. Okay? And then Krishna says, Pranava. I am this Pranava, ya Omkar in the Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. I am the Om syllable in all the Vedas. So Om is also in all the Vedic mantras. You start every Vedic mantra with Om, which is the essence, right? So that is also Krishna. And then Lord Krishna says, I am the sound in ether. Shabda K. Shabda is sound. The sound in ether. So any sound that we hear in this world, the sound is also a creation of Krishna. So that original sound is Om, from which all other sounds come. Like Prabhupada explains in the first kind of Bhagavatam, when Narad Muni is having this veena, and Narad Muni is playing this various rag, Sa, Re, Gima, Padanisa, the various rags through which all other melodies come. So all these rags are actually created by Krishna. These sounds, these words are all created by Krishna, ultimately to be used in the service of Krishna. So Krishna is that sound in ether. And then Lord Krishna says, Shabda ke Purusham Risho. I am the ability in man. Every human being has some ability, some talent. Someone is good in something else, someone is good in something else. Who is giving this ability? We may be very proud that I am doing it, but it is Krishna who is giving it. The battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna thought like he is the hero of the entire war. After the entire war, when Arjuna is bringing the queens of Krishna from Dwarka till Hastinapur, some small coward boys came to fight with Arjuna, and Arjuna couldn't do anything. So Arjuna was thinking, I am very, very capable, I am very, very strong. That time he understood that I won the war of Kurukshetra not because of me, because Krishna gave me that ability. And now Krishna has taken the power away. Prabhupada in that particular purport, Prabhupada explains, there's a phrase in English, don't be proud of borrowed plumes. If you have borrowed something from someone, why you have to be proud of it? It was never yours. So whatever ability we have, is it ours? Krishna has given us. So what is there to be proud of? Krishna has given us, we have to just use it in Krishna's service. So Krishna is the ability in man. So anytime, how we can be Krishna conscious? By seeing the sun, by seeing the moon, by tasting the taste and water. Anytime we see someone is doing something very wonderful, someone is singing very well, someone is speaking very well, someone is drawing very well. All these are abilities. We have to understand that this is all given by Krishna. Krishna has blessed them with all these things. So we can be very, very Krishna conscious. Instead of becoming envious, we can become very Krishna conscious. Krishna is blessing this person. Right? And then Lord Krishna says, I am the fragrance in earth. Punyo Gandha Prithvyamcha. So Lord Krishna says, I am the fragrance of earth. Now probably the currents went because some indication of rains. So as soon as the first rains come, smell of that earth, my God, it's intoxicating. The fragrance of earth, mud. Anytime you cook food on a mud pot, like in Jagannath Puri, the taste is altogether different. That mud you cannot compare it with any other. You may cook in a gold pot, silver pot, whatever. There is no comparison to that mud. That fragrance in mud, that is Krishna. So anytime it rains and that fragrance of that mud comes, you can be so very Krishna conscious by appreciating this very point here. And then Lord Krishna says, I am the heat in fire. What is that verse here? Text 9. Tejas chamsi vibhavasho. Correct? So Lord Krishna says, I am the heat in fire. You cannot cook anything without heat. You have a mud pot. See how we are dependent on Krishna on so many things. Whether you have a mud pot or a pot made of iron or any other metal, all those metals are coming from earth only, na? People do mining from earth only. All these metals are coming from earth. Now, in order to cook your food, food is also given by the sun, moon, rains, right? Food is also given by Krishna. Now, to cook that food, you need fire, which is one of the energies of Krishna. And then Lord Krishna is saying, and the heat in fire. If that heat is not there, you cannot cook anything. What we eat, we are able to digest because there's a fire in the belly, Jata Agni. So Krishna is there everywhere practically. Right? Even that fire that is getting cooked, that heat is Krishna. And then Lord Krishna says, I am the life of all that lives. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. I am the life of all that lives. So Prabhupada explains here that, in this world, someone may have life, someone may be born, but without Krishna's presence, without Krishna's mercy, nothing can happen. So we may feel that we can create life, we can do this, we can do that, but we cannot do it. Life comes only from Krishna, right? So in this way, Prabhupada explains here the durations of man's Prabhupada. If you see this last sentence, Prabhupada says here, the duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. Life comes from Krishna. So the duration of our life, we have to be very, very grateful to Krishna. Krishna has given us one extra day, we have to be very, very grateful to him. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it. So Krishna consciousness is active in every sphere. So Prabhupada mentions here, according to medical science, even to digest we need fire. So that means whether you are a devotee or an atheist, you are dependent on Krishna. Everyone is dependent on Krishna. Whether you accept it or not, we are all dependent on Krishna for digestion, for heat, for life, for everything. And then Lord Krishna says, I am the penance of the ascetics. Tapas chasmi tapas vishu. So we have so many people, especially in the Kumbh Mela, so many people who do so much austerities. So the power of doing all these austerities, Krishna is that penance. Krishna is the penance of all ascetics. And then Lord Krishna says, Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. I am the original seed of all existence. For any life to be there, there has to be a seed. So Lord Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita. I am the original seed giving father. So how is creation explained? The material science, the scientists explain creation as a big bang. They speak about nature, Prakriti, they don't speak about a Purusha. But Prabhupada explains that for creation to happen, Prakriti and Purusha have to be together. Prakriti will never create. Purusha has to be there. So how is creation explained? Lord Krishna glances on Prakriti and through that the seed comes and then there is creation. So the original seed of all existence is Krishna. He is that essence. And then Lord Krishna says, Buddhir buddhimatam asmi. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. We may have many intelligent people. Krishna is that intelligence. If Krishna switches that intelligence guy can become a fool in a moment. His mind can go blank. He can get paralyzed. Anything can happen. In a moment, Krishna can switch anything. So if someone has intelligence, we shouldn't be proud. We should just feel that Krishna has blessed me with something. It is Krishna's intelligence. Krishna has given me to be used in his service. So Krishna is the intelligence of the intelligent. Like Prabhupada would give this example. We all know who discovered the law of gravity. Newton. Newton discovered the law of gravity. So we all give credit to Newton. But did Newton make the law of gravity? He didn't make it, no? We give credit to Newton for discovering it. The one who made it, Krishna, no one even speaks about him. In conferences, you speak about Newton. But how many times you speak about Krishna? Who created Newton's brain? Intelligent guy. Who created his brain? Krishna created it. So Krishna is the intelligence of the intelligent people. Right? And then he is the prowess of the powerful. So Lord Krishna says, Tejas Tejas Vinamaham. I am the prowess of very powerful people. So in this world, you have many powerful people. That power for them to work is coming from Krishna, right? And then the strength of the strong, balam balavatam asmi. The strength of the strong is also coming from Krishna. And then Lord Krishna says, Kamaraga vivarjitam. So Krishna is saying, I am sex life which is not against dharma. So even this principle of the man and women coming together to produce children, that is also coming from Krishna. See, you can have two laptops, but then you bring two laptops together, there's no third laptop that is produced. But you have two human beings coming together, and a man and woman, and there's a third. And how that child has some combination of this person, that person, it's a wonder of its own how Krishna can do this. So Krishna is all this. So in this way, we saw in this section, basically, how we can envision God in this world. First, by seeing the effect. We will not be able to see the cause. We will be able to see the effect, but we can infer the cause. So just like we gave the example of fan and current, arrow and archer, puppet, puppeteer, pearls and the thread, right? Is it rain? Is it raining? Yes. So Krishna has rains also, Krishna has that smell. So when you go out, you can experience all this. After the class now, when you go out, you can experience everything in the class. Krishna is showing all his magic here. Okay? So now, the second way we can envision God is through his energies. What kind of energies? Two energies, material, spiritual. Material energy is made of 8 elements. What are the 8 elements? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. So this is called apara prakriti. There are two kinds of prakriti. Apara prakriti and para prakriti. Apara prakriti means material. Para prakriti is atma, spirit. We all are Krishna's para prakriti. Right? Two things. Okay? By seeing the energy. So we saw the way we can envision Krishna. First, effect. Second is energies. Third, the essence of everything. And we saw 15 ways that Lord Krishna explains here. Taste of water, light of the sun, the light of the moon, heat and fire, ability in man, strength of the strong, intelligence of the intelligent, and so many ways. Right? The fragrance of earth. All these ways we can actually experience the essence of these things, and that is Krishna. Okay. So in this way, in this section 4 to 12, Lord Krishna explains how we can envision Krishna in this world by 3 ways. Effect, energies, essence. Okay. Now, 13 to 19, Lord Krishna explains a very important section. So now we have spoken about Krishna, how understanding Krishna is very, 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 very rare phenomena. Not everyone can understand Krishna. We discussed the science that how we can see Krishna in this world also. But still, you will have 2 kinds of people. One who accept Krishna and one who reject Krishna. So that's what Lord Krishna explains in this section. In this section, this verse is a very important verse. We'll spend some time in this verse. Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mame Vaya Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. Lord Krishna says, why can't people understand Lord Krishna? The question may be, we discussed 3 ways in which we can see Krishna in this world. Krishna is everywhere. 3 ways in which we can see Krishna. Still, why people can't understand Krishna? It is because of Maya, illusion. There is a curtain. Hey? Imagine, like you go to an altar of Krishna. Right? You go to Vrindavan or you go to Jagannath Puri. Krishna is there behind the curtain. But until that curtain comes out, how you can see Krishna? Someone has to remove the curtain. Nah. Only when that curtain comes out, you can see Krishna. Otherwise, you will not be able to see. So Krishna is there everywhere, but we are not able to see Krishna is because of the curtain of Maya. And Lord Krishna explains this Maya is Duratyaya. Duratyaya means very difficult to overcome. Very difficult to overcome. That's why not everyone can see Krishna. Even though Krishna may be right in front of you, you'll not be able to see Krishna because of the curtain of Maya, which is very difficult to overcome. And then Lord Krishna says, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mama Maya means Maya is Krishna's energy, my energy. My energy. So Krishna is the energetic and Maya is Krishna's energy. Just like recently Ram Navami just passed. Yesterday was Ram Navami. We celebrated the boat cruise. Krishna's mercy that yesterday it didn't rain. Looking at this rain, I was very grateful. Let it rain today, no problem. If yesterday it had rained, still our program would have gone on in a different way. But anyway, so here in Ram Navami, during this Ramayana Leela, Ravan kidnapped Sita because he was thinking, this is my Sita, my energy. But Ram killed Ravan and told Ravan, Sita is mine only, she can never be yours. What it means is, energy in this world, everything in this world is Krishna's energy, whether it is wealth, intelligence, everything is the Lord's energy. We are trying to enjoy it. But the Lord comes and tells us that you cannot enjoy, it is meant for my enjoyment only, because Maya is mine, not yours. That is what it means, Moha Maya. And then Lord Krishna is explaining the word here, Devi Esha. Devi Esha means divine. Therefore, Maya, even though we may say so many things about Maya, Maya is illusion, we have to stay away from Maya, but we worship Maya also, no? Durga, we worship Durga. So Durga is also an energy of Krishna. She is not inferior. She is also a divine energy. So Prabhupada gives this example, just like an electrician, expert electrician can convert electricity into heat or into cold. The same electricity, when put into a heater, it can produce heat. The same electricity, when it goes on AC, it can produce cold. So is the electricity hot or cold? Both. It depends on the expert electrician, how you can play with it. So for all of us, we may have Maya and we may have Radharani, internal energy, external energy. But for Krishna, there is nothing like that. We stay away from Maya, we try to come close to Radharani and Bhakti. But for Krishna, it's not like that. For Krishna, both are same. He can use anything interchangeably. Right? So we get scared of matter, we want to go close to spirit. But for Krishna, he can use it interchangeably. Prabhupada would often give this example. Here you can see, here is Durga and there is Radharani. Just like you have a coin, one side you have head, one side tail. Similarly, who is Durga? She is Radharani in a perverted form. For Sita for devotees is a divine mother who gives blessings, who gives a lot of love. That same Sita for Ravan was Durga. It is not Ram who killed Ravan. It is Sita who decided to kill Ravan. Ram just did that, being that instrument part. But it was Sita who became Durga to kill Ravan. So that means what? If you approach Sita, if you approach energy, in a mood of service, she will show you this form of Radharani, very motherly. If you go to in an enjoyment form, she will show this form. That energy will become Maya and she will torture your life. So therefore Lord Krishna says the divine energy. So Krishna, he will change, flip. For devotees, you will see this picture of Radharani. For non-devotees, they will see Durga, who will come to destroy all of them with Trishul. And then Lord Krishna is here using the word Gunamayi. This Maya, Durga, is made of 3 gunas. How does Maya control all of us? 3 gunas. Sattva gun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Just like we saw that puppet example. So just like a puppet is controlled by ropes, in this way, Maya controls us by Sattva, Raja, Tamo. So it's called Gunamayi, made of 3 modes. So Lord Krishna in this verse explains that Maya is very difficult to overcome, but you can overcome it how? Mam evaya prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Lord Krishna says Maya is very difficult to overcome, but anyone who surrenders to me, such a person can overcome. So therefore the principle of surrendering to Krishna is very, very important. So when you surrender to Krishna, Krishna makes that Durga into Radharani, and then we are all delivered from this world. That's what Lord Krishna explains here. Now in text 15, Lord Krishna comes to the point of who rejects Krishna. Krishna is so great, Krishna has made it so easy to approach him, but still there are certain classes of people who reject Krishna. Text 15. Namam duskriti no muda prapadyante naradama maya aprita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. So Lord Krishna explains 4 categories of people who reject Krishna outrightly. Who are the 4 categories? First is Mooda. Namam Dushkriti no Mooda. Okay, what does the word Dushkriti mean? See, Kriti means activities. Sukriti. Sukriti means, generally, we say na, iske paas bahut sukriti hai. That means pious activities, good activities. Dushkriti means bad activities, yeah, miscreants. Use very demonic activities. 4 kinds of dushkritina, 4 kinds of mischievous people. First is called mood, grossly foolish. You all can go back and read the purports. Prabhupada is writing very beautiful purports. So Prabhupada gives an example of mood. Who is a classic example of a mood? A donkey. Donkey is a mood, fool. Because the donkey, Prabhupada explains, you can learn a lot of things from studying a donkey also. A donkey works so hard, master literally makes him slog day and night, and at the end of the day he gets some grass, that too dry grass. But he keeps working because he's a donkey. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that Baba, there's free grass available so much. Why do you have to work like this, like a dog and like a donkey, whatever? He doesn't understand it. Because he's a donkey, nothing strikes him. So in this way, we keep working very hard to enjoy. And Prabhupada explains, just like a donkey sometimes sings also. Have you heard donkeys sing? Have you heard? Sometimes you can hear. They feel that they sing very beautiful. So Prabhupada explains here, the ass sings poetry and philosophy, but this braying sound only disturbs others. The ass may feel, please hear me, Shurunu Mam, but the ass's singing just disturbs others. So in this way, people may sing philosophy, do this, do that, but it's all like a donkey working very, very hard. Working very, very hard. Right? So this is the first kind of people who don't surrender to Krishna, grossly foolish. Foolish. They keep working hard and hard and hard. Krishna Bhakti, which is so easily available, they don't want to take it. They keep working hard like donkeys for something which they're not going to get only. Like Ravan worked so hard to kidnap Sita, do this, do that. But at the end, Ram only took Sita. This fellow died like that. So similarly, people keep working. So the first category of people. Second is called Naradamaha. Nara means human. Adama means most fallen. And opposite of Naradama is Narottamaha. One who is the best of human being. Like one of our acharyas is called Narottam Das Thakur. Very superior kind of human being. Most people in this world, Prabhupada explains here, Naradamaha. So Prabhupada mentions here, 99.99% of human beings in this world is Naradamaha. Most fallen human beings. And Prabhupada explains, classic example, Jagai Madai. Just like for Muda, the classic example is who? Donkey. For Naradama, classic example is Jagai Madai. Most fallen. There was no sin that Jagai Madai didn't do. In fact, they would read scriptures to find out which is the most dangerous type of sin, and they would do that only. Reading scriptures to commit sins. So these are the kind of people in this world. Naradama, most fallen. And yesterday in the boat cruise, we were seeing a lot of category of people like that. Right? So Naradama, most fallen. Drinking, this, that. And 99% is that. Previously also probably someone would do it. 50, 100 years ago in India, people would smoke, drink. But they would do it very privately, and they would feel very ashamed of doing it. In today's world, people are not even ashamed. People are not even ashamed. Sabke samne, you come and drink, smoke, do all nonsense, and you're so proud of it. So this is how human race continues. Naradama. The third is Maya Aprita Jnana. Maya Aprita Jnana means one whose knowledge is stolen by Maya. And Prabhupada explains the classic example of such people are scientists, philosophers, and very intelligent class of people, but intelligence in a wrong place. They don't have intelligence to understand Krishna. They have intelligence to figure out so many things of this world, no intelligence to understand Krishna. One time, Americans, they were, when someone goes to space, the gravity changes there. An ink pen, a ballpoint pen, the ink doesn't come down. So the Americans, the NASA, spent crores, millions of dollars to make a pen that can be written in space, that you can use it in space. You know what the Russians did? They sent pencil in space. Now, why do you have to spend crores of rupees to discover this pen? Take a pencil, work is very simple. So we complicate our life with so many things. When things can be done simply, you waste your time and use your intelligence in all wrong things. So this is called Maya Aparita Jnana. People who are very intelligent, but not intelligent in Krishna consciousness. And then the fourth kind of people who reject Krishna is Asuram Bhavam Ashrita. Asuram Bhavam Ashrita is those who are openly atheistic and demonic. Openly atheistic and demonic, completely against Krishna. So these are the four kinds of people who reject Krishna. And the next verse, Lord Krishna explains. Okay, these are the four kinds of people who reject Krishna. Now let's go a little quickly. Text 16. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritno arjuna arto jigyasu artarti jnani cha bharatashrava. So Lord Krishna explains four kinds of people who accept Krishna. And Lord Krishna calls here Jana Sukritino Arjuna. The previous verse, when he was describing, how did he describe? Dushkritina, miscreants, people who do wrong activities. Sukritina means one who do pious activities. So Lord Krishna explains four kinds of people who are good, nice people, who accept Krishna. Who are the four kinds? First is called Artha. Artho means, what does Artho? One who is distressed. You can see here this picture, emoji. Someone is very distressed. And in Kali Yuga, just like 99.9% people on Naradama, 99.99% people who come to Krishna consciousness are Artho. What does Artho mean? Distressed. They are the ones who come. Good candidates. Because Maya Devi beats everyone royally. They all come crying to Krishna. They all come to devotees. Our Gaurang Prabhu, he explains that this verse should be changed. What Krishna explains, there are four kinds of people who come to him. Those who are distressed, those who want money, those who are inquisitive, and those who want knowledge. So Gaurang Prabhu says in Kali Yuga, four kinds of people come to Krishna. Who are they? Artho, Maha Artho. Distressed, very distressed. They are the ones who come to Krishna. They will come and knock the doors of Krishna consciousness. Distressed people. Example of this is Gajendra. So for Dushkriti, we saw examples, 4 examples. Donkey, Jagai Madai. Then we saw, who are they? Philosophers, scientists. And then fourth is atheistic guys. So similarly for this 4, there are examples. Artho distresses Gajendra. Crocodile caught him. Gajendra was so distressed, so much suffering. He cried out to Krishna. Till then he didn't remember Krishna. When the crocodile caught him, he remembered Krishna. So similarly for all of us, in order to cry out to Krishna, some crocodile has to catch us. Only when that happens, we will cry out to Krishna. This is called Artho. The second category is called Artharthi, money, looking for money or gain. Right? Many people who go to Krishna, why do they go? Gain. Give me bangla, give me this, give me that. At least Krishna is calling these people good people. Because at least they are going to Krishna. The previous 4 people were not even going to Krishna. So at least these people are going, they may be going to Krishna for a wrong thing, but at least they are going to Krishna. That itself is great. So the example for this is Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj, he went to the forest for what? Why did he go to the forest? He went to the forest to do bhakti, to see Krishna. But why he wanted to see Krishna? Because he wanted to ask him position greater than his grandfather. He wanted wealth. He wanted position, success. He went to Krishna. But Dhruva Maharaj is also considered a devotee. At that point, he was not a pure devotee, he was a mixed devotee. But because he came in touch with the process of bhakti, gradually those impurities went and he became a pure devotee. So you'll have people who come to the process of Krishna consciousness who may be distressed or who may be in the category of gain. They may want something. Like in Srila Prabhupada's time, there was one robber. He saw one picture of Prabhupada with a golden watch. He said, I am going to ISKCON. Because he wanted the watch. He didn't want Krishna, he wanted the watch. He came to ISKCON. And devotees didn't know. When people come, you don't know what they are coming for. Krishna or you don't know what. So the devotees took him. Because in those days there were no devotees. Whoever comes they would take. इसको ले लिया, धोती कुर्ता पहना दिया, तिलक डाल दिया, अरे चल जा रहा है. So one day Prabhupada called him, and this fellow didn't even tell Prabhupada. Prabhupada removed the golden watch and told him, take it. Prabhupada just gave it off. And this person, he stayed back and he became a very great disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Haridas Prabhu. And he's the one who created those initial films of Srila Prabhupada, Ever Well-Wisher. It's called ITV, ISKCON TV. He had created this whole thing. So you'll have people who come seeking for material gain, but these are also good people. The third category is called Jigyasu, inquisitive, who come here just to understand what is this Krishna people, what is this Hare Krishna people doing, They just want to understand little of what is happening here. And the example for this is the Shaunakadi Rishis. They're like inquisitive, they want to know. They're asking 6 questions to Sutta Goswami. So inquisitive people. And the fourth category is Jnani, the one who is seeking knowledge. And the example of Jnani is Chatush Kumar, who are actually seeking the absolute truth. So the Jnani category may be very, very less. Most people are in the Artho category. Next category is Artha Arthi. Little people will be inquisitive category, very special people, and very rare people will be in the Jnani category. So therefore in the next verse, Lord Krishna explains, of all these 4, one who is a Jnani is more superior. Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate Priyohi Jnanino Tyartam Aham Cha Mama Priyaha. So Lord Krishna says, of all these 4, one who is seeking knowledge is actually the highest. But all these 4 are called Sukriti. You're getting the point? So these are 4 people who accept Krishna. 4 people who reject Krishna, the 4 people who accept Krishna. Text 19, very important verse. Bahunam janma namante Vasudeva sarvamiti Samahatma. Bahunam janma namante Jnanavama prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti Samahatma sudurlabha. So speaking about a Jnani, Lord Krishna says, to come to the platform of being a Jnani, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavama Prapadyate. After many, many births, one may become a Jnani. And such a Jnani may understand Vasudeva Sarvamiti. The essence of this chapter is called knowledge of the absolute. So Lord Krishna explains 4 kinds of people who reject Krishna, they are all useless only. 4 kinds of people who accept Krishna, of all the 4, Jnani is the topmost. And Lord Krishna says, of all the Jnanis, one who understands me is the topmost. So knowledge of the absolute means to understand Krishna. And someone who has understood this has reached the topmost level. And it may take millions of births. And Lord Krishna says, Sudurlabha. What does Sudurlabha mean? Very rare. Who is very rare? Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such a person is called a Mahatma. Mahatma. So Prabhupada explains, who is a Mahatma? One who takes shelter of Krishna. One who takes shelter of the internal energy is called Mahatma. One who takes shelter of Maya, what is he called? Duratma. Useless guy. Unfortunate guy. Mahatma is a great soul. Duratma is a fallen soul. So we all may be Duratma, but we have to slowly get to the platform of being a Mahatma. So in this way, Lord Krishna explains 4 kinds of people who reject Krishna. Muda, Naradama, Maya, Pratagyana, Asuram, Bhava, Mashrita. 4 kinds of people who accept Krishna. Artho, Artati, Jigyasu, Jnani. And then who is the best? One who is seeking knowledge. And such a person is a very great soul and he is very, very rare. Now the last section, which is verse number 20 to 30, Lord Krishna is speaking about demigods and impersonalists. Till now, Lord Krishna says, one who takes shelter of him, such a person is a Mahatma. But many people may not be able to take shelter of Krishna. Some people may be worshipping demigods, some people may be worshipping Brahma Jyoti. Krishna is discussing about them very frankly. What is the position of demigod worshippers? Very important section. Text 20. Kame ste ritagyana prapadyante anya devata tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyata swaya. So Lord Krishna is saying, when people don't go to Krishna, where do they go? Anya devata. They go to other demigods. Now, why do they go to other demigods? Because in Krishna Bhakti, in Krishna worship, it's about giving Krishna. You offer everything to Krishna. In demigod worship, it is about asking. In demigod worship, like probably he's telling, I don't know what he's telling, but you can get what he's telling. Right? Yeah, you go and speak something, you go and ask something to Ganeshji or whatever, all the demigods. So generally people go to demigods to ask. Why do they ask? Because here Lord Krishna, let me come here. So here Lord Krishna is saying here, Kames teste ritagyana. Kames means kama vasana, lust, desire. Because their intelligence is stolen away by desire, they go to the other demigods. Because they want to fulfill their desires. And which demigod they go to? Lord Krishna is saying here, tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyata swaya. According to their nature of their desire, they go to a particular demigod. Just like you go to a restaurant, there's a menu card. What you will eat, depending on your choice. Today you might be in a mood of eating this. Someone may like Chinese, someone may like something. According to your nature, you get your food. Similarly, the Bhagavatam, the scriptures give us a menu card. If you want health, worship Surya. If you want good wife, you worship Shiva. Like that. There's a whole list. If you want rain, you go to Indra. So which demigod you will go to? Depending on what kind of desire you have, what kind of nature you have. There are 3 guna, sattva, raja, tamagun. In this category, there are sets of demigods. There are demigods who belong to sattva gun. There are demigods who belong to rajagun and tamagun, like that. So the choice of demigods, Lord Krishna is explaining, is based on your nature and desire. Text 21. Yo yam tanum bhakta shraddhaya architam icchati tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadamyaham. Lord Krishna says, now this is something very important. So you may have a certain desire, you may go to a certain demigod. Lord Krishna is saying here, when you go to that demigod, who gives you that faith in that demigod? Krishna is saying, I give. So that means even to do demigod worship, you are dependent on Krishna. That faith in that demigod, Krishna gives. You see this verse here. Yo yam tanu bhakta shraddhayam achyutam haras icchati tasya chalam shraddham tam eva vidadami aham. So Lord Krishna is saying that shraddha in that particular devata is given by me to that worshipper. Krishna only is giving. So even to do demigod worship, you are dependent on Krishna. So the worshipper is dependent on Krishna. Now, who gives the benedictions? Next verse, text 22. Sataya shraddhaya yuktas tasyaradhanam ihate labate cha tata kamam mayeva vihitan hitan. Okay, now see this. So first Lord Krishna is saying, to choose a demigod, Krishna inspires you based on your nature. Now to have faith in the demigod, Krishna gives the worshipper faith. Now you worship the demigod with faith. And why did you go to the demigod? Because you had a certain desire. Now how will the demigod give you the desire? Demigod can't give on his own. He will ask Krishna and then give. So Lord Krishna says, endowed with such a faith, he worships a particular demigod and obtains his desire. But Lord Krishna says, actually, These benefits are bestowed by me alone. Labate cha tata kaman mayeva vihitani tan. I am only giving the desires. So you can see here, Krishna gives demigods Shakti, and the demigods give the worshipper benediction. So we may appreciate a demigod, but actually it's actually coming from Krishna only. You're getting the point? So how ultimately even in a demigod worship, Krishna is there very prominently. So therefore the conclusion, text 23, very important verse. Antavantu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Very important verse. Lord Krishna is saying here, alpamedasam. Meda is intelligence. Sanskrit Meda is intelligence. Alpamedasam means less intelligent. Who are less intelligent? People who worship demigods. Why? Antamanta phalam tesham. Why people who worship demigods are less intelligent? 3 reasons. First is the benediction that demigods give is temporary. Like in Ramayana, when Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishan, Surpanaka, they did tapasya for Brahma. When Brahmaji came, Ravan is telling Lord Brahma, make me eternal. Brahma is saying, I am only not eternal, how I can make you? Right? So the demigods, what they can give you is temporary benediction because they are only temporary. So why demigod worship is less intelligent? First thing is because the benediction given by demigods, like you get money from demigods, money is temporary. Now who's worshipping a demigod, that fellow is also temporary, he will also die, he will also pass away. Above this, the demigod also has his limited time. You know, when you hear about falling star, what is that called? Shooting star. That shooting star is actually a demigod falling down. A demigod falling down. See, when you go to Swarga, become a demigod, you go because of punya. Once that punya gets over, they'll push you down. So the demigod also has his life that is temporary. So the benediction of demigod worshippers is temporary. The worshippers are temporary and the demigod is temporary. Therefore, it is called Alpamedasam. So now this is what Krishna explains. Then Lord Krishna comes to the next verse where Lord Krishna is saying, those who worship impersonalists, those who worship Brahma Jyoti, they are also not very intelligent because such people think that Krishna, the formless, has taken a form. So many people have this understanding. Krishna, they feel that this is all illusion. Actual God means Brahma Jyoti, and they feel Brahma Jyoti has taken a very temporary form. This is all their less intelligent nature. So Lord Krishna is saying, unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I was impersonal before and now I have assumed this personality. So demigod worship is also in one sense less intelligence. More foolishness than that is impersonalist philosophy. To think that Krishna is Maya, Krishna is illusion. So why we can't understand Krishna? Because of this Yoga Maya. And then Lord Krishna is saying, what is this Yoga Maya? What is this Yoga Maya? We will read this verse, text 27. Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Lord Krishna is saying, what is Maya? You may say, what is this curtain made of? 2 things. Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvanda mohena bharata. This dvanda. I like something, I hate something. Someone is my friend, someone is my enemy. This kind of understanding is illusion. Right? I like this, I hate this. So this kind of understanding is actually an illusion. This is mine, this is not mine. I will enjoy this. This is all an illusion that because of hatred and desire that separates us from Krishna. So once this curtain goes, then we can actually appreciate Krishna. Who will become free from Maya? We already discussed. Mam eva ya prapadyante Maya metam tarindate. One who surrenders. And then Lord Krishna also explains here. Text 29. Jara marana mokshaya mama shritta yanti ye मामाश्रित्य यतन्ति ये ते ब्रह्म तद्विदो कृष्णम् अध्यात्मं कर्म चाकिलम्. So till here Krishna was explaining about less intelligent people. Less intelligent is demigod worship, and then those who worship impersonalists. Here Lord Krishna is saying here, intelligent persons. Who are intelligent persons? Who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death. Jara marana mokshaya. One who's intelligent wants freedom from all this. What he will do? Lord Krishna is saying here, he will take refuge in me in devotional service. Tad Brahma Tad Vidu Krishnam Adhyatma Karma Chakilam. And because he takes refuge in devotional service, he will know entirely about me and then he will achieve me. Serving Krishna with devotion, and after that, after death, we go back to Krishna. So in summary, 20 to 30, the summary of the verses here is, first, Lord Krishna is saying here, people who don't come to Krishna go to demigods. Why they go? Because they want their desires fulfilled. The choice of demigods is based on nature, depending on what kind of nature, what kind of desire. The fate and benedictions, the faith that the worshipper has in a demigod is given by Krishna. The benediction that the demigod gives a worshipper is also given by Krishna, Paramatma. And then Lord Krishna explains here, those who worship demigods are less intelligent because demigods, worshipper, benediction, all have an hand. And then Lord Krishna explains, those who are Mayavadis, who think that Krishna's form is Maya, they are more foolish. Because Krishna is not Maya, Krishna is the source of this impersonal form. And then Lord Krishna doesn't reveal himself because of this Yoga Maya covering. And the way the Yoga Maya covering can be lifted is by the process of bhakti. One who serves him sincerely, who is free from desire and hate, such a person can achieve Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anyone has any one question? Sorry for going a little over time. Yeah. What is the difference between? Yeah, so basically, here what Lord Krishna is explaining here is 4 categories of devotees who come with material desires, basically. Of all the 4, Jnani is supreme. Jnani. But Lord Krishna explains, that is the verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanama Prapadyate. Who is a Jnani? The topmost Jnani is one who is a devotee. So the levels are like this. You have materialistic person. Higher than a materialistic person is a Karma Kandi. Higher than a Karma Kandi is Sakam Karma Yogi. Then you have Nishkam Karma Yogi. Then you have Dhyan Yogi. Then you have Gyan Yogi. Beyond Gyan Yogi, you have Mishrit Bhakta, mixed devotee. And then you have pure devotee. And in pure devotees also you have different categories. This whole science Mahaprabhu explains. In pure devotees you have different categories. You have a Shanta Bhakta. Higher than Shanta Bhakta is Dasya Bhakta, Sakya Bhakta, Vatsalya Bhakta, Madhurya Bhakta. In Madhurya Bhakta you have 2 categories. What is that? What are the 2 categories? In Madhurya, what are the 2 categories? Gopal Swaran, in Madhurya? Parakiya, Swakiya. Swakiya and then Parakiya. And in Parakiya also, among the gopis, you have topmost Radharani, like that, the whole category. So Mahaprabhu explains this whole science to Rup Sanatan. Yeah, not always. Not always. So a devotee, he is already a Jnani. But not every Jnani is a devotee. It's like that. Devotee includes Gyan, the Gyan is included in it. But a Jnani may not always be a devotee. Very rare, that's why that verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Out of many, many Jnanis, one may actually understand. He may be in the process, slowly he will get there, but it may take time. ठीक है? Anything else? Yes. Yes, Gopal Swaran is giving good. I'm very happy with this. Yes. Yes. Good question. So we have heard about 84 lakh species, 84 lakh. 4 lakh is human. There's a verse, na? Jalada Navalakshani, 9 lakh aquatics, like that, 20 lakh four-legged animals, 4 lakh humans. So what does generally human being is one species? The understanding of 4 lakh means here the species is not based on bodily difference, based on consciousness, Chetana. So that's how the species are demarcated in a Vedic language, in a Vedic way. The difference is based on consciousness. That means there are 4 lakh human beings, different levels of consciousness. Some people who are completely animalistic consciousness, some people are more and more refined like that. That's the 4 lakh. Okay? So we'll stop here. Next week we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So last time we had a test, so I'm just giving the papers. So marks is not the major